I ain't feeling lonely, and I wanna admit it's time to end the ride. Fading it too slowly, were those gonna lift me up this time? You were the only one who got me tripping up inside. All the words you told me, am I reading something different from your eyes?
Hey guys, and welcome back to sunny and warm Turkey. Today is my last day of having this Dacia Duster rental car. It's going back to the rental car company. If you haven't seen my review, please check it out up there in the right corner. But today I'm gonna give you guys a video about the worst things about this car. And I actually love this car, but it's also one of the worst cars on the market today because it's so freaking cheap. Some of the solutions are really cheap and really poorly executed. Today we're gonna go through the worst things. So let's start off with what's most apparent, and that's this interior. You have hard plastics everywhere, on the doors, on the armrest. This seat fabric looks like it's come from a $20 IKEA sofa. The steering wheel is just plastic, no leathers, no nothing. Stepping in here, everything is just hard plastics. Everything you touch. They've tried to make it a little nicer with some chrome detailing, but you can see here this chrome isn't chrome anymore. It's just matte plastic. So the interior isn't very pretty. Hard plastics everywhere. Most definitely one of the worst things about this car. And before we set off driving this car, I want to show you guys one of the worst things, and that's manually controlled door mirrors. I haven't seen that since I drove a car from the 80s, and I mean a cheap car from the 80s, because that's something you don't see every day. And to adjust one on the passenger side, well, you have to have a passenger adjust it for you if you want to have it pointing in the right direction. So let's turn on the ignition here. So you have a normal key with keyless entry, 6-speed manual transmission, so 3 pedals. Fire up the diesel engine and blowing some cold air. Turn down the radio, but how do you do that? You would think it would be this knob here, right? A round knob to turn up and down the volume. That would be very intuitive, but no, in this car you have buttons. Why didn't they make this the volume knob? I have no idea. That's just non-intuitive at all. And then behind the steering wheel you have these buttons for controlling the volume up and down, and they work very poorly. They just feel very cheap and have no feedback at all. Then over to the exterior, because the exterior on this car is not pretty, super cheap. The bumpers and mirrors, even the door handles, aren't even painted on the exterior. It just looks cheap, no style at all. I mean, if you drive this car, you have zero style. It's not pretty, not good looking, doesn't communicate any form for class or style at all. Once on the move, it actually isn't that bad to drive. The suspension is very smooth, very soft, so it's quite comfortable. And the diesel engine, the 1.5 liter, 110 horsepower, Renault sourced diesel engine, and this car is actually quite punchy, quite refined, and quite quiet. Many quiets. But what it's not is sporty. I mean, the handling is so sloppy, the suspension is so soft that this rolls at any speed. It doesn't handle at all. There's zero sportiness, and the steering, my god, this has got to be the most unprecise steering in any car I've ever driven. Doing motorway speeds, you can, move the steering about like this. Nothing happens. It's scary. And lastly, guys, the steering wheel doesn't reach or rake. It only tilts up and down. This is a modern car. Why the heck can't I bring the steering wheel more towards my chest? I'm sitting like this driving and not very comfortable at all. So there we have it, guys. The worst things about the Dacia Duster. It's actually an awesome vehicle, the cheapest SUV you can buy in any place of the world today. That in its own is quite amazing. So It's an awesome car. It's a simple car, cheap and basic transportation, but it does have some terrible and super annoying shortcomings. Hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please drop me a like down below. And for more car content, please subscribe. See you guys later and goodbye.